You know someone like this. Maybe it's you. Top of the class. Hardest worker in the room. Can solve complex problems, hold intelligent conversations, figure out almost anything they put their mind to. And yet, broke. Stressed about money. Living paycheck to paycheck. Watching people who seem half as sharp drive better cars, take better holidays, build things that actually grow. And the question that sits in the back of your mind, the one you don't say out loud because it sounds arrogant, is how? How are people less intelligent than me doing better financially than me? Here's the answer that took me way too long to find. Intelligence and financial success use completely different parts of your brain. And nobody, not your school, not your parents, not your university, ever taught you how to use the second one. That's what this video is about. And I promise you, by the end of it, you're going to see your relationship with money in a way you never have before. Let's start at the beginning, because the problem, for most smart people, starts in school. Think about what school actually taught you. It taught you to find the right answer, to follow instructions precisely, to avoid mistakes, because mistakes meant failure, to work hard, get good grades, earn a qualification, and then trade that qualification for a salary. That's the blueprint. Study hard, get a good job, be a good employee. And here's the thing, that blueprint works. It works exactly as designed. The problem is it was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you employable. There's a profound difference. The educational system trains people to seek security, follow rules, and avoid mistakes. Students learn to find the right answer and fear failure. This creates excellent employees, but often struggles to create wealth builders. Think about that for a second. The very skills that made you successful in school, precision, risk avoidance, following the rules, are the exact opposite of the skills that build financial independence. Building wealth requires taking calculated risks. It requires being wrong sometimes and learning from it. It requires creating systems that make money while you sleep, not just exchanging your time for a salary. And smart people, the ones who excelled at the school game, often find it the hardest to unlearn, because they were so rewarded for playing by the rules that breaking them feels genuinely dangerous. You didn't fail at money. You were never taught how it actually works. Here's the second reason smart people stay broke. And this one is going to sting a little. Smart people overthink money. Not because they're careless, because they're careful. Too careful. Highly educated individuals often overanalyze investment opportunities to the point of inaction. They research every possible variable, create elaborate spreadsheets, and seek perfect information before making any decision. This need for certainty paralyzes them, because financial markets are inherently uncertain. I call this the research loop, and it looks like this. You decide you want to start investing, so you research it. You read 5 books, watch 40 YouTube videos, compare 20 platforms. Then you realize there's more to learn, so you research more. Months pass. A year passes. You're more informed than ever, and you still haven't invested a single dollar. Meanwhile, someone who knew a fraction of what you know started 18 months ago and has been building compound interest this entire time. This is the cruel irony of intelligence applied to money. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. And the more you don't know, the less safe it feels to act. The person who knows less doesn't feel this paralysis. They act. They make mistakes. They adjust. They grow. Your intelligence became a barrier to the one thing that actually builds wealth. Action. And here's the neuroscience behind why this is so hard to escape. The brain's risk assessment mechanisms evolved for physical survival, not financial markets. When faced with potential financial loss, the amygdala triggers fight-or-flight responses designed for immediate physical threats. This system interprets market volatility as danger, prompting protective actions that often damage long-term wealth building. You're not being irrational. Your brain is treating financial risk exactly like it treats physical danger. And your intelligence is giving that fear more ammunition, more scenarios, more worst cases, more reasons to wait. The fix isn't to stop being smart. It's to act before you feel ready. Because in finance, feeling ready is a luxury that costs you years. Now here's the part that almost nobody in the financial space talks about. And it's the part that I think matters most. A huge number of smart people stay broke, not because of their intelligence, but because of their history with money. Think about the house you grew up in. Was money tight? Were there arguments about it? Did you grow up hearing things like, "We can't afford that," or "money doesn't grow on trees," or watching your parents stressed and scared every time a bill arrived? Because here's what happens when you grow up in that environment. Your brain developed in an environment where resources were unpredictable, and it adapted accordingly. The amygdala, your brain's alarm center, learns what to fear based on early experiences. While your amygdala runs over time, your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, impulse control, and complex decision-making, gets suppressed. In other words, chronic financial stress in childhood literally reshapes your brain. It creates what psychologists call financial trauma. And financial trauma doesn't disappear when your income improves. A person earning six figures can still carry deep scarcity wounds from growing up poor. The nervous system remembers what the bank account has forgotten. This shows up in specific, recognizable ways. You earn more, but you spend more. Not because you're irresponsible, because some part of you never fully believes the money is safe. So you spend it before something takes it away. You get an opportunity that could change your financial life, and you find reasons it won't work. Not because it's a bad opportunity, because success feels more dangerous than staying where you are. At least struggle is familiar. You avoid looking at your bank account, not out of laziness, but because looking triggers a fear response that your body learned years before you were old enough to understand what money even was. You can't just think your way out of scarcity mentality. Even when there is abundance all around you, your mind is stuck in the tunnel of scarcity and is quite literally unable to focus on anything other than that. This is not a mindset problem you can fix with affirmations. This is a nervous system pattern that was built in survival, and it takes more than positive thinking to unwind. But the first step, the most important step, is simply understanding that this is happening. Because the moment you recognize a financial trauma response for what it is, you stop blaming yourself for it, and you can start actually changing it. There's another trap that catches smart people specifically, and it's the one that looks the most like success. Smart people get good jobs, high-paying jobs, jobs that reward their intelligence with a respectable salary, and they pour everything into that job: extra hours, extra effort, extra commitment. And the salary goes up, and the lifestyle adjusts to match, and the salary goes up again, and the lifestyle adjusts again. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most effective wealth prevention mechanisms that exists. Many intelligent people focus on earning a high salary, assuming it will naturally lead to wealth. While a high income can help, it does not automatically create financial freedom. Wealth is built through a combination of financial knowledge, strategic risk-taking, investment decisions, and building assets that generate passive income. Here's the hard truth. A salary, no matter how large, has a ceiling. Your time has a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you can only sell so many of them. The people building real wealth are not selling more time. They are building things that make money whether they show up or not. Assets, investments, businesses, systems, and smart people, trained by school to trade performance for reward, often spend their entire career perfecting the art of selling their time, getting better at it, getting paid more for it, without ever questioning whether time trading is the right game to be playing at all. The question is not how do I earn more per hour. The question is how do I build something that earns while I sleep. That shift from income to assets is the difference between a high-earning career and actual financial freedom. And it's a shift that school never taught you to make. There's one more reason, and it's the quietest one. Some smart people stay broke because, unconsciously, broke is who they are. Not because they chose it, but because it's familiar. It's what they grew up around. It's what the people they love look like. And becoming wealthy, actually wealthy, means becoming someone different from everyone around them. Psychologists call this identity-level resistance, and it is one of the most powerful, most invisible forces in personal finance. When wealth starts to feel possible, when an opportunity comes, when money starts building, something inside pulls back, spends it, sabotages it, finds the reason it won't work. Not because you're self-destructive, because your brain reads becoming wealthy as losing the people you love, as becoming someone unrecognizable, as leaving behind the version of yourself and your community that you grew up inside. And to your nervous system, that kind of loss is more threatening than staying broke. This is why some people win money and lose it almost immediately. Why some people get the raise and expand their expenses to match. Why some people are given the exact opportunity they asked for and find a reason not to take it. The work isn't just financial. It's identity work. It's giving yourself permission to become someone your parents never were. Someone your old neighborhood didn't produce. Someone who has things you were told weren't for people like you. That permission is quiet. It doesn't come from a book or a course. It comes from understanding, deeply, that wanting financial security is not a betrayal of where you came from. It's the completion of something your family started. So here's what actually changes it. Not theory, real, practical moves. First, learn the language of money. Not economics. Not complex investing theory. The basics that school never taught. How compound interest works. The difference between an asset and a liability. What cash flow means. How tax works in your favor if you know the rules. You can understand quantum mechanics or write perfect code, but if you don't understand compound interest, cash flow, or investing, you're at risk. 1 hour a week of financial education, not motivational content, actual financial literacy, will change the trajectory of your money faster than any raise. Second, act before you're ready. Set a rule for yourself. If you've been researching something for more than 30 days without acting, you act anyway. Start small. Put in the smallest possible amount. Make the imperfect first move. Because the cost of waiting is invisible. You don't feel it today, but compound interest works in reverse too, and every year you wait is a year of growth you will never recover. Done imperfectly beats perfect, but never started. Every single time. Third, notice your money feelings. Don't just manage money numbers. Start paying attention to how money makes you feel. Not what you think about it. What you feel in your body when you check your balance, when you consider investing, when someone talks about wealth. Anxiety, shame, fear, guilt. Those feelings are not random. They are information about where your relationship with money was shaped. And until you understand them, they will keep making your financial decisions for you. Journaling specifically about money, your earliest memories of it, what it meant in your home, what it means about you now, is one of the highest leverage things a smart person can do for their financial life. Fourth, shift from income to assets, one step at a time. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to become an entrepreneur overnight, but start asking a different question. Not how do I earn more, but what can I own? An index fund you contribute to monthly. A small side project that generates its own income. A skill you monetize outside your job. Something that exists and produces value even when you're not actively working. Start small. Start imperfect. But start building something you own, not just something you do. Fifth, give yourself permission to have more. This one sounds the softest. It does the most work. Write down, honestly, what you believe about people who are wealthy. What you were taught, implicitly or explicitly, about money and the kind of person who has it. Because what you find there, the inherited beliefs, the quiet judgments, the identity rules, those are the things actually running your financial life. And when you see them clearly, you can choose differently. Not because money is everything, but because financial security is not greed. It is freedom. It is options. It is the ability to take care of the people you love without fear. And you deserve that, regardless of where you started. Here's what I want you to walk away with. If you're smart and still broke, you are not failing. You were handed a set of tools that were built for a completely different game. You were taught to perform, not to build. To earn, not to own. To be excellent at someone else's system, not to create your own. That's not a character flaw. That's an education gap. And education gaps can be closed. You already have the intelligence. You already have the discipline. You already have the capacity to understand complex things quickly. You just need to point it at money, not just at your career. Start today. One book, one decision, one thing you've been researching for months that you finally just do. The smartest thing you'll ever do with your intelligence is use it to build a life where it has room to breathe. If this video hits something real for you, share it. Because I guarantee someone in your life is the smartest person in their circle and still can't figure out why the money never stays. Subscribe for more content like this. This is exactly what this channel is built for. I'll see you in the next one.